Actually, that's Nick Ojala, and he's going to be starting pitcher for Proctor tonight. And they're taking on the Brandon Hawks in those bright yellow uniforms. And it's going to be Trevor Lear leading things off, followed by Nate McKeegan, and then Logan Alger due up. And that's the first three in the order. How's that picture look to you, huh? I'm on a brand new platform. It looks like about 10 by 12. Nice height. I can see over all the infielders, and I'm dead on as far as center field. And it was all lumber donated by Gilmore Home Center. John Miles, I told, did all the labor. I'd like to thank all those people involved. I've covered programs for 15 years and couldn't even get a sheet of paper from them. Now I got a whole dance floor up here to do a game. That'll be a walk as Ojala will miss high. So many thanks to Gilmore's Home Center and John Miles. And we got 6 innings of iffy baseball tonight. It's kind of stormy looking outside. Now Nate McKeegan up. He's going to be the shortstop when Brandon comes up. Defensively in the bottom of the first, and I'll get into the rhythm now. I'm just blown away by my nice platform I have here. Brandon is coached by Thomasina Magoon. She's over there at first base. And I do not know the third base coach. But I could find that out for you. But Ojala now into the full windup, and he'll just miss outside. Well, defensively, I can tell you right now, behind the plate, I'm talking about Proctor, of course, is Kyle Miles, where I mentioned that Nick Ojala is the starting pitcher. Curtis Tomlinson's over there at first base. I'll be off the fist and foul over that first base dugout. Second base, Braden Fox. Shortstop, Shane Protovansky. And Reed Farley getting a start at third base. Sean Blanchard's in center field. Joe Parker's in right field. And Logan Landon is the left fielder. And that is the first out of the game. Comes on a strikeout as McKeegan caught looking. And now Logan Alger up. And David Whitney on deck. Alger is going to be the first baseman defensively for Brandon when they get up in the field. And hopefully, like I said, the grounds crew came in early this afternoon and used a shot vac to suck up the big puddles of water and re-raked it. And actually, the field was in good shape when I just walked across it. About a 4 o'clock in the afternoon rain shower. And this is a 6 o'clock start time, but these are beautiful facilities out here in the town of Proctor, Vermont, which just was the starting point for the Crawley Road Race. And I have there's a swing and a miss and a strike, and the runner stays at first. I do have an upcoming sports beat with the subject being the Crawley Road Race, indirectly the Crawley Road Race. There's Bill Rogers, the great marathoner, came on and sat down for a while, and he will be my guest on that show, talking about the running, distance running, short distance running, long distance running, the Crawley Road Race, all kinds of cool stuff like that. So that's on an upcoming sports beat. Right now I have Legion Baseball as they start up their schedule on the 16th, and I'll have their first home game for you. And just a tad bit high. I can see it's Kyle Bechet doing the umping in the field, and I'm not sure who's behind the plate. But the pitch coming in from Ojala, and that's going to be down to second base. Fox will get down on the ball, make the tag, and get the out. And that's nice job by Fox as he retired the lead runner in that play. So on the fielder's choice, Alger will be safe at first base. Now I'll bring him up the cleanup batter, David Whitney. So 2 down, 1 on, no score yet. And the throw down to first. Where are you? There you are. Takes me a while to kind of get my situation. Especially now with the new platform, I kind of get used to the new angles and where I swing the camera, and I'll get it down. So Ojala trying to get out of this inning with no damage done, and he'll miss high with that pitch. Getting the Brandon Hawks out there in those bright yellow jerseys, and they've had a couple runners on. Nobody able to come around yet for them. And remember the last game I had, it was the Pittsburgh Red Sox and these Proctor Rangers, and that was a thrilling game, actually, an 11-10 game that better than any Major League Baseball I've watched yet this year. Oh, that's a shot to center field, and it'll be caught. I almost missed it again. This is different for me to shoot from here. So Blanchard will make the grab, and they'll retire the side, and there'll be no run scored. We'll go to the bottom half of the first, 0-0. I promise I'll try not to miss any more plays as we watch the first pitch from Jarrett Patch come in, and that's going to be Sean Blanchard leading things off. And I'll set the defense for you in just 1 second. I'm just trying to catch up. Little League's great to cover. It's just sometimes getting the lineups is tough because a lot of the coaches aren't sure of their players' names, jerseys, or numbers. It'll be Blanchard, Nick Ojala, and Shane Protovansky do up for Proctor in the bottom of the first. Like I said, the Brandon squad able to get some runners on, just couldn't generate any runs out of it, able to get some base runners on. I already mentioned Jarrett Patch is the pitcher. Greg Whitney's the catcher. Logan Alger's at first. Connor Mackey is at second base. I just want to check that because I didn't have my glasses on. That's Connor Mackey at second. We'll go to the shortstop position. It's Nate McKeegan's there, and Elijah Keene is at third. And if I've made a mistake, I apologize for that. I'll get into the rhythm of the game and get going here. David Whitney's the left fielder. Trevor Lear's in center, and Lennon Philo is the right fielder. I tell you, for showers and threatening sky, there's a good crowd on hand here. That's going to be the shortstop to first, and wide of the bag, and that'll be allowing Blanchard to go down to second base. He'll take the turn, and he's going to, looks like he'll put it in park. No, he's going to go to third base as the ball will get away, and will he score? They're going to wave him home, and here comes Blanchard coming home with the game's first run. Yeah, he'll score. And so on the error, Blanchard will be able to come around and get the game's first run. Well, could be one of those wild ones tonight. And Nick Ojala up down, number 2 in the order. He's the starting pitcher tonight for Proctor. That's a good pitch. I'll be down to, wow, it's actually going to go up the middle as it picked up speed on that wet infield. And Ojala is going to turn on the Jets. He's coming into second base, and he'll be safe at second. And but you can see the aggressive base running out there by Proctor in the background. You see him recover the ball. So Ojala is going to have a single, take second base on that aggressive running. And now Protovansky, Shane Protovansky batting in that number 3 spot. And so Jarrett Patch, big righty out there, will look in. Looks like he's going to pitch from the stretch, and well, a lot of movement on the ball. Will come to the inside. It'll slip off from the catcher's glove, and Ojo will hustle down to third base. So Protovansky now with a runner at third and nobody down, 1 run in. We're in the bottom of the first, scheduled for 6. There is a 10-batter rule in this league. And that will skip to the backstop, and Ojala is going to come home, and he'll beat the throw. Ojala is super fast. Anyways, he just puts a lot of pressure on the defense to make the play. So 2 runs here in the bottom of the first for Proctor. And Brandon trying to settle down defensively out in the field. And Protovansky now all set. And that ball could be wet also. Like I said, the infield in good condition, but you can't really shot back all the grass either. So as they're waiting for the catcher, Greg Whitney, to fix the straps. Let me go around the infield one more time real quick for you. Alger is at first base. McKay is at second. McKeegan's at short, and Keene at third. Patch is the pitcher, and that will be a strike. Nice pitch by Patch. David Whitney's in left field. Lear's in center. Philo's in right. Greg Whitney's behind the plate. And I believe that I've set the positions now correctly. And that'll be a walk. And I never did get the name of the young lady that helped me get the lineup down for Brandon, but I do greatly appreciate all her help. And she got the positions, the last names, the jersey numbers, and then actually came all the way out to my new platform in center field just before the start of the ball game and gave me the changes. Kyle Miles now will make contact. That's going to go over to second base. We're going to get the out at first, and Protovansky, there he is right there, taking that wide turnaround second, trying to draw the throw, but there'll be 1 down now on that 4-3 ground out by Miles. And Reed Farley, the third baseman, batting number 5 in the order. He'll step up to the plate from the right side. Yeah, actually it's taking me a little bit of time here to get used to this new angle I have to shoot the ball game, to locate the ball and everything. But I tell you, hats off to Gilmore's Home Center and to John Miles for donating the lumber and their labor to put up a state-of-the-art platform. That's going to be the short, and be off from the glove, roll out in the short left field, and ball gathered up out there. And he'll bring it back to the pitcher, Patch. As that was Keene that picked up the baseball. I'll keep Protovansky at third base. And Farley on at first. Logan Landon up now. And again, he's the left fielder, and he bats number 7 in the lineup. So he plays position 7, bats number 7, and I think he wears number 7. So this could be quite an omen right here. And just a tad high. And the runner going down to second base uncontested. Farley will have second base. Tomlinson on deck. And a 2-0 game in the bottom of the first. Kind of a cool evening. Very comfortable for a ball game. I'll tell you, a lot of good velocity on the pitch from Patch. He's just having a little, got to find the strike zone right now, but he's got some pop on the ball. See him look in, get the target. Actually, I think he got the sign, then the target, and getting that ball really moving along. I don't know if he's throwing a 2-seamer or a 4-seamer, but he's got a lot of movement on that pitch. See, trying to settle down here in the bottom of the first. And that will be past the catcher. Another wild pitch, and the runner will come in. Protovansky will score. Farley will stay at third, and Landon will be at first. So the one out, runners at the corners now. And Tomlinson up to first baseman. Curtis will bat from the left side. And then actually 3 subs tonight for Proctor. Jesse Slade, Chris, and Zach Gelbert available, and they'll be coming in a couple innings. Oh, great pitch, tied him up, and that'll again get past pitcher, and you can see coming in right now will be Landon as he'll take second base. The runner at third stayed at third on that pitch. That was Farley over at third. So Tomlinson with a chance to pick up some RBIs now. Yeah, on July 10th and 11th, you've got the Proctor All-Star Tournament right here from the same facility, the 3 baseball fields here. And I'll be here on my new platform. I tell you, you got to see this thing. It's like I said, it's like 10 by 12. It's just, I've covered other programs for decades, and like I said, I couldn't get a piece of paper from them. These guys, I said, boy, and that runner's going to be there just ahead of the throw. I just mentioned because they have a piece of staging that they would bring it out for me to use for every ball game. I just mentioned it'd be kind of handy for everybody if there's just like a permanent little structure. And I was only talking like a 4x4 for my tripod. I tell you what, this is kind of cool actually. Got a great view of the game. I'm just trying to translate it through the camera now. And big swing and a miss. Landon taking off. Got a late start from third, and yeah, he'll have it as they didn't throw down on it. It's a lot shorter radius to swing the camera than when I'm standing on the ground level. That's why I got used to keep over shooting the action. So with the one down, Tomlinson waits the pitch from Patch and just high. I tell you, that was a great eye by Tomlinson because that was a borderline pitch. Now it'll be called ball 4, and that'll bring up Joe Parker now with Braden Fox on deck. Like I said, there is the 10 batter rule. Proctor with 4 runs. The Proctor Rangers with 4 runs here in the bottom of the first. I tell you, Patch, they won't throw down. You can see that Tomlinson will take the base uncontested. And that's a lot of the Proctor baseball I watched the last couple of years. They're very aggressive on the bases. They generate a lot of offense that way. Big swing and a miss by Parker. He'll swing through it for a strike. So Patch would love to get another out right here and be able to strike out. Now let the runners move up. I tell you, again, a lot of pop on the ball, but missed high. Patch looking over at that runner, landing at third base, trying to keep him tight to the bag after the pitch. Now I'm about to say, that was a good-looking pitch, and Parker will take it for strike 2 in the count. So again, they have Parker up now, then Braden Fox coming up on deck, and then they'd be around to the top of the order, and that'd also be the 10th batter, and he would be the last batter to come to the plate would be Blanchard, and that'll be low and bounce, and the runner stayed home this time. Nobody left second or third, and I don't know what the reason was, but I tell you what, Greg Whitney, the catcher, getting quite a workout out there behind home plate for the Brandon squad. I hope you enjoyed all the youth baseball action brought to you on Munger Vision, as that will skip in, and that will be a walk to Parker, and that will load them up. The bases will be juiced now. for Braden Fox, who's made good contact all season long when he's been inserted in the lineup and taken some swings. And good athlete anyways. I remember from the past basketball season, and big swing there. And again, that being a left-handed batter, that pitch right there tailed away from him. And you can see the good motion on the ball from this great platform they built for me here. That will be out of play. Yes, this will bounce behind the Proctor dugout. Tell you, I'm 50 years old and I've changed a lot, because for many years I didn't stand on any platforms that I didn't build. But I have stayed on this one, and I got a lot of faith in Johnny Miles to use a lot of screws this thing to hold up my big old fat butt. So Patch got a little bit of a pickle going here. He's got the bases loaded, 1 out. That's going to be in a trouble spot. That's going to drop in the outfield. 1 run coming in. Tomlinson will stop at third base, and that'll be an RBI single for Fox, as he will, again, just hit it in the right spot. And now the 10th batter, Blanchard, up. So this will be the final batter. Center fielder Blanchard reached on an error and scored the game's first run, and big swing, and that'll be to the backstop, and the throw just did beat it. Tag was high, and he slid underneath it. And now first, it's irrelevant, but the first base is open. Tomlinson comes in with the 6th run of the inning. Parker goes to third, and Fox goes to second. Blanchard at the plate. And that pitch, good pitch. Kyle, a strike on the inside corner. And I already mentioned the 16th of June. I know I'm tape delayed, but it'll be Legion, first American Legion Post 31, first home game. I'll have that for you, so you'll see it at a later date on Channel 15. And Blanchard went down and took a big chop at it, and I believe that's the inning. That'll be the inning, but Proctor able to pick up 6 runs in the bottom of the first. We'll go to the top of the second from Proctor, Vermont on Munger Vision. Ojula, who is sharp in that first inning, getting set to go back to work here in the top of the second. There'll be a swing and a miss. You can see that ball, a lot of movement on it right there. It's Greg Whitney up, he's the catcher, then Connor Mackey and Jarrett Patch. That's the 3 due up here for Brandon. Brandon, like I said, was able to get base runners on in that first inning. They just couldn't string together the hits. Now be back to Ojula. He'll slip, take his time, throw to first, and get the out. Nice composed play by Ojula as he got to the ground ball, fielded it, slipped down, and then threw a strike over to Tomlinson. Of course, one of the advantages of having Tomlinson over at first base, he's just so sure-handed as far as when you throw the ball within a couple feet of him, you know he's basically going to scoop it up. So with 1 out, Connor Mackey up now, and he is the second baseman for Brandon. They got a little bit of homework to do here. They're down by 6 in the second inning, scheduled for 6. And I don't know, whenever I say I don't think we have to worry about Mother Nature, I always end up. So I'm not going to, I don't care if it rains or doesn't rain. I got a new platform to stand on. So Ojula wearing that big number 1 on his back. Like I said, remember the Glozik tournament this past year that the Proctor Elementary School won? He was a very integral part of that. He was a very good basketball player. You know, I look around and I can see a lot of the guys that were on. Protovansky was on that team. Tomlinson was on that team. Braden Fox was on that team. That'll be down to Tomlinson. He'll race to the bag, and he'll get there and tag it for the putout. Of course, Tomlinson, one of your more experienced players out there for Proctor. Now Jarrett Patch up, the pitcher for Brandon. So they're looking for a 1-2-3 defensive inning as they realign the outfield to adjust for the power of Patch. They had actually Blanchard in center field took a good 7-8 steps further back. And I hope the camera work got better as the game goes along for you. And boy, that's a nasty looking pitch right there as that goes down to the inside. Had a lot of velocity on it, and Patch will offer at it. And if Patch can extend the inning, Elijah Keene will be up next. He's on deck. And he'll get strike 3 called looking, and that'll be the top of the second count. 6-0 Proctor going into the bottom of the second on Munger Vision. This is one of the other smaller fields T-ball game going on. You can see the feeder system for Proctor, and you can see the crowd there. Good crowd, and a lot of participation, and sharp-looking outfits. And I've watched this between innings. There's been some good baseball going on over there. You know, I love the community atmosphere I get when I come over to Proctor. It's like when I go down to Mill River and schools like that, and I tell you, a lot of passion going on over there in that little field. I just want to see the hit here before and he fouled it off. So yeah, so I can catch not only the game I'm doing, but when they're setting up between innings with the warm-up pitches, I can get over here and follow this action. Now, I don't know who the pitcher is, but she just gave up a base hit, and there goes the runner. He's off and moving into third base, and he will be safe at third base. That's Joe McKernan over there, the guy in the taller guy of the players over there, and he's of course the basketball official, does a lot of refereeing and stuff. As they get set now, as they bring the ball back into play, and we got the lefty up there, so we'll see what happens now as the pitch coming in. Little swing and a miss. A lot of heat on the pitch, and he'll miss it. I'm just looking. Looks like the bases are loaded out there for the squad. That's coming in, and that's going to be, that's through the hole at second, and that'll be a base hit. And you can see the fielders really getting aggressive going after the ball. And then the throw back. Nice job. All right, well, I'll bring us back to this Proctor Rangers Brandon game now. As we go to the bottom of the second, Jarrett Patch on the mound. He'll kick fire, and that'll be a little bit behind the batter right there, as that's going to be Nick Ogil up there, Shane Protovansky, then Kyle Miles. That's the three due up as Proctor sent 10 batters to the plate in that first inning, came out with 6 runs, and that's a good-looking pitch for a strike. And I'm looking, I don't see any changes defensively, and there were no substitutions left for Brandon, so after this pitch, let me go around the horn. That'll be, again, ball 2 right there. Well, I already mentioned Patch is the pitcher. Greg Whitney is your catcher. Logan Algier is at first. Connor Mackey is at second. Nate McKeegan's at shortstop. Elijah Keaton is the third baseman. David Whitney's in left field. Trevor Lear, the center fielder, and Lennon Philo, the right fielder. I don't know, maybe we can go back to that T-ball game next inning, but there's some hot action everywhere I look around here in Proctor at these ball fields. And so Patch, who will pitch from the stretch, will look right in. You see the target being flashed by the catcher, and that's going to be on the fist for a ball. And I believe it runs it to a 3-1 count now to Ogila. Ogila had a single his first time up and eventually came around to score the game's second run. Oh, he got a piece of that one, and that's going to be nice catch out there. Boy, he got a great jump on the ball. Of course, I'm talking about David Whitney, number 10. I tell you, he saw the ball, tracked the ball, got to the ball, and made the grab. So they'll retire and Ogila, who will be 1 for 2 now in this ball game. Now Shane Protovansky up. He walked his only at bat, and he eventually came around to score a run. And Protovansky with a long look down the third base coach as they're flashing some big-time signs down there. And high fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. So yeah, just again, showed up for the ball game, walked out to center field. And Gilmore Home Center donated all the lumber, and John Miles did all the labor, and that's going to be at the base of the wall. Where is it? There he is. Yeah, that hit the base of the wall. That was terrible camera work. There we go. I tell you, it's really different shooting from the platform than it is on the ground. I couldn't locate the outfielder or the ball, but I will. As I thought, he actually hit it off or the wall. So Protovansky with a double. No doubt about it, double, as Kyle Miles up now. He grounded out to second base his only time up. And of course, the second base is Connor Mackey. Protovansky will waste no time. He's got great athletic instincts and instincts for the game. And he doesn't hesitate. He saw the pitch get past the catcher, and he hustled down to third base. Reed Farley on deck, and again, I'll work on my camera work. After 15 years doing this, you think I'd be better at it. That's going to be in the hole at short. They're going to go to first and get the out. Nope. Oh, and a collision over at first base, and everybody looks like they're going to be okay. Yeah, and they double check, and they're going to award second base on the interference call. Then the run will come in. That'll be the 7th run of the ball game, and Miles will be over at second base. Farley up. He reached on an error and scored back in the first. And that will be strike one. As that is a new number. That's Greg Whitney over at first base now. Or number 16, who I was told is Greg Whitney. Now be fouled back for strike two. And yeah, I can see number 12 now. That's Logan Alger. He has gone behind the plate. So that is a defensive change. And it's hard to see that with the catcher spot. But on that collision at first, interference was called. And both players able to get up and look fine right now. That's going to be a slow chopper and rolls foul down the third baseline. As that, of course, was Keene, Elijah Keene hustling over there, number 3 to pick up that ball in foul territory. So Farley, Landon, and Tomlinson, possibilities here in this bottom of the second for Proctor. They picked up another run here in the bottom of the second to lead 7-0. And that's going to be just off the glove, and I need to pick up third base. Miles giving the green light to go home, and that's run number 8 coming in. Yeah, and Patch will pick up the ball, and you can see Farley in the foreground of that shot. He will have an RBI on that play, as Miles will score. Farley will end up at second base, and Logan Landon up. He walked and scored back in the first. And almost a great catch out there by David Whitney. And Farley getting down to third base on that pitch that got away from the battery of Patch and Alger. And Patch has thrown the ball well. He's had good velocity and a lot of movement like that ball right there. It wasn't a strike, but that's because Proctor, to be very blunt, they're very disciplined at bat right now. I mean, now they're going to make Patch throw strikes. Not going to help him out by going off. There's something out of the strike zone. That one got away from him right there. Could have been a wet ball, and Farley will stay at third base as that'll be chased down by Logan Alger. Greg Whitney's gone to first, and I had him down as a starting catcher, and it looks like they switched positions out there. Brandon with just the 9 players. They had nobody to plug in for substitutions. And I'm not sure. Strike call, nice pitch by Patch. I'm not sure what the situation was with Patch, if he's going to throw all 6 innings. Or if that's a fluid situation. We'll have to wait and see how the ball game goes, or how he does, or how he feels. Oh, right there, strike called. And that will be the first strikeout. I'm looking at that will be the second strikeout of the ball game. Now Tomlinson up, he walked and scored back in the first. And so Patch getting the big out right there, as that's the second out of the inning. In an 8-0 game right now, and Tomlinson, Curtis Tomlinson, the first baseman for Proctor. There's a wind, kind of gusty tonight. The flags are out there, and the cloud cover very low and very dark and very foreboding. That must be why the camera work sucks tonight, but no, I think I'm just so giddy from having my platform built for me. I'm overwhelmed actually with emotion about it. I've done a lot of things for a lot of programs, and some of them have been very good to me, and some of them have been very rude to me. So this is a very humbling situation to come into, and I'm not a humble guy, so I've been called a lot of things, but never humble. So they're looking for that all elusive third out here as Tomlinson walked and scored, and the lefty at the plate, and Patch's pitch will be just a little bit high. So Farley down at third for the Proctor squad, and the Brandon squad trying to leave him there, and that's going to be a walk. And I was watching the runner at third as Farley started, then stopped, and Tomlinson taking that big turn at first on the walk, like he's going to make the break for second, but he'll hold up. Joe Parker coming up now. He walked and was stranded at third base. That was back in the first inning. That's what they've done. They've called the little break in the action. There is a bat in the playing area in the on-deck circle, and they'll pick it up now so nobody will step on it. Braden Fox stepping on the on-deck circle. He will be the next batter if Proctor can extend the inning here. Great pitch. That's a strike. Tomlinson got a late start, and there's Curtis going down to second base. I already mentioned this is Channel 15 Munger Vision. But you can also go to the computer at www.pegtv.com, click video on demand, and you can pick the game you want to watch. And again, caught at the plate but high was the call. And Patch throwing the ball much better here in the second inning as far as location. He had the pop on it in the first inning, but now he's getting his location down here in the second. Like that. That's going to be the second. They'll go to first for the out, and he will be safe at first. One run will come in. Tomlinson will be at third. And again, that was just a tough play because the shortstop, McKeegan, had to wait for the base runner to clear out of the way in front of him. Tomlinson will go to third, Parker at first, and Braden Fox up now. Fox had an RBI his first time up. And you know what, I missed that because I was looking at my book. And I'll get past the outfielder and I'll pick up Parker as he will scramble to third base and kind of slide going in as Braden Fox with another base hit there. And I could hear the Proctor dugout telling Parker, nice slide, and then they laugh. So 1, 2, 3, 4 more runs are in. And the ninth batter, Sean Blanchard, up. And I'm not sure what they're talking about. Oh, I think they're looking for interference on the base runner in front of the infielder. And I'm only conjecturing. I'm not sure that's what she was talking about. If that was the case, they overruled it because that would have been the third out if they reversed it. So Blanchard up now, the center fielder. Now, the last game I did here, Blanchard was the pitcher, and that's going to be off the glove and safe at first. And Fox, oh look, he's going to be over at third base. And this is now the 10th batter as Parker scored. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so Nick Ojala will become the 10th batter. So no matter what Nick does, he will be the final at-bat here in the bottom of the second for Proctor. And that'll be foul tipped, and the runner's got to go back to first base. Ojala's made contact both times tonight. He's had a single and scored a run, then he flied out to left field to David Whitney, who made a nice catch on the ball. And that's going to drop in as that'll be picked up by Philo, and he's going to send it home up the line, and the run will score as Blanchard will score. And that's, don't forget, this is the 10th batter, and they just keep on running, and there's the out. That's the inning. There was another big one for Proctor. We'll come into the third. I'll do my math, and I'll give you the score then. Pitcher out there for Proctor in the top of the third as Ojala went 2 strong innings. And now Sean Blanchard, number 12, is going to go to the mound, and I'll try to pick up the changes defensively. I see Ojala's moved to center field, and like I said, he's one of your future high school's athletic stars, and Blanchard will get a swinging strike on Elijah Keene, the third baseman. So Keene his first at bat here. And Blanchard throws hard, and he throws with some cut action on it, and that'll be outside for a ball. So Blanchard, last time we saw him pitching, had a 13 strikeout performance against the Red Sox at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh with two teams. That one got away from Blanchard, obviously the ball. Portovansky stays at short. Farley is at third. Fox at second. Tomlinson at first. I saw Miles is still behind the plate. Parker is in right. Ojala in left, and Zach Gelbert has gone to left field. I'm sorry, right field was Parker, left field was Gelbert, and Elijah Keene will strike out, and that's the first out of the third inning. And now Lennon Philo up. And Philo from the right side will watch strike one come in. So Blanchard throws hard when he finds his rhythm. He throws with good location, moving his spots around out there. Outfield straightaway, rather shallow. Farley at third base and on the grass. High heater and good swing at the pitch by Philo. Just didn't catch up to it. And top of the order, Trevor Lear on deck for Brandon. And just overpowered him with the fastball. Good swings, though. I like to see people, they're going to go down on strikes. I'd rather have them going down swinging like that than watching the ball go by. And that's a good job by Philo. Trevor Lear up now with 2 down and nobody on base. Again, if you're just tuning in, the big news tonight, I got a brand new platform to stand on and videotape from in center field Lumber was donated by Gilmore Home Center, and Johnny Miles was the contractor that did all the free labor. I have not done the platform justice with my camera work tonight, but honestly, if you've never videotaped a sporting event and talked it at the same time, it takes me a little while to get acclimated to my new angle that I'm shooting from camera-wise. And that'll be called ball as it was high. It was a good call by the home base umpire. Home plate umpire. It's not a base. Darren Carter, the Proctor varsity baseball coach, corrects me all the time when I call home base, because it's not. It's a plate. So after a long pause, the pitch coming, then that'll be a... Well, I missed the call. It looked like a strike to me, so I'll go with a strike. So Crowley Road Race just finished up. It's 34th consecutive year, and it's going to be off to Fist and Fall. Again, I videotaped it. I don't ever show the race in its entirety because I don't have the runners. You only see the front of the pack when I videotape it because I'm in a truck in front of the pack, the runners. But I also don't have the numbers that coordinate with the names. And I got Bill Roger. Oh, Farley with a nice scoop and throw, and that looks sharp. Farley with the big play at third. That'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Proctor. They'll have that 13-0 lead going into the bottom third over Brandon. New pitcher out there for Brandon is number 15, Nate McKeegan. So McKeegan will go out and replace Patch. Patch went 2 full innings. Threw the ball very well. Just had some bad breaks tonight. Some hitting batters here for Proctor. Protovansky, Miles, and Farley do up. They're right in the middle of that order for the Rangers. And that will be a little inside and be a ball. Patch, the starting pitcher, has gone to play shortstop now. So they just basically took McKeegan and Patch and flip-flopped them defensively. They'll hold their positions as far as in the batting order to where they were prior to the switch here. And I do think, let me double check my order, is that's going to be on the air and caught at second base. That's what I was waiting to see. That is Connor Mackey with a nice grab, fighting the wind, able to grab that for the out. So they will retire Protovansky. Miles up, he is grounded out, and he's reached on a fielder's choice and eventually scored a run. A 6-run first and a 7-run second for Proctor. They really kind of set the tone for the ball game. And like I said, they run the bases very aggressively, and sometimes defensively you just aren't quite used to that. You're not ready for it, and Proctor able to get Brandon a couple times throwing the ball around, chasing him, and that's going to be up the middle and a base hit. That's a shot up the middle, and Miles will be over at first base on a major league single. And now Reed Farley up. Farley scored 2 runs tonight, and he's driven in a run. He's made good contact all evening with the ball. We're in the third, scheduled for 6 on a threatening cloudy night here, windy night. And McKeegan, that's going to be lifted out, and that's going to drop in there for a base hit, and you can see Miles from second to third, and I'm waiting to see. They're going to hold him up there. So Farley with a double. Like I said, he's been making good contact all night long. She's got a couple doubles tonight, and he's reached on an error, so he's been on base all 3 times. He's come up to the plate tonight. Now, this is Landon Spot, but I believe that's one of the I believe that's Chris Gelbert. No, I'll have to look. I think it's Zach. Zach's 10, I believe. Well, I'll wait till McKeegan's pitch, and that'll be a ball. Now I will look, and Zach is number 10. So Zach Gelbert batting for the first time tonight. Was just inserted into the lineup last inning defensively, and a good eye there as that pitch came inside and he didn't offer at it. Second and third with 1 down, no runs in yet in this inning, but 13 for the ball game in there for Proctor. And I tell you what, that outfield has gone deep. They've backed up several steps for Gelbert. That'll be to the backstop and retrieved quickly by Algier, and runners can't move up on that wild pitch. Again, Todd Landon is the head coach over at Proctor. And just missing inside. And Gelbert again with that good eye. Like I said, Thomasina Magoon is the coach for Brandon. And again, they're in the third. No leads insurmountable, but they need to get some defensive stops here. And that will come in, and Gelbert will be a dead ball, and Gilbert will be going to first base. He was hit by a pitch, and he'll be the first batter. Hit by a pitch tonight for either side. Tomlinson up. He's scored a couple runs. He's drawn 2 walks. And don't forget, there is the 1 out here. Force out at any base, and your odds go up. Ratio-wise, combination-wise, come up with a double play. There's the wind very gusty tonight. And McKeegan just missing when he does miss. Other than a couple pitches that were behind the batters, but those just got away from him. Like that one. Miles coming home is going to score. Runners will move up to second and third, and Miles will come in with the 14th run of the ball game. Joe Parker on deck, and I'm trying to see if that is Joe. Yeah, it is Joe on deck, so I believe Gilbert should just bat in Landon's spot. That's what he did. Okay, so there is no change in the batting order, just in personnel. Again, Tomlinson with an excellent instinct, a good eye for the strike zone, will draw a lot of walks throughout the season, and he'll take that one for a ball right there. I believe it's a 3-0 count. And that'll be to the backstop, and Farley releases, comes in, and he will score on that wild pitch. And going to second base will be Tomlinson. There's Curtis coming in. Again, there's that smart base running, taking that extra base. And now Joe Parker up. He's walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and he has scored tonight. Parker getting the start in right field. Stands big at the plate, and we'll take that pitch outside. There's good zip on the ball from McKeegan. It's just all about location right now, trying to find that strike zone on a consistent basis. Throwing a lot with his arm, not really with his legs and his lower body. Just right now he's just throwing an awful lot with his arm. And that's about developing that type proper technique, using your lower body and the follow through and the right mechanics. This is the age level. You want to get all that stuff down before you get to the junior Babe Ruth and the what do you call them? I call them junior high schools now, but they have a different name. Intermediate schools, is that what it is, or middle schools? And that will be inside, and I think it hit Joe. Yeah, it hit Joe Parker, and he will go to first base. Now load the bases up now for Braden Fox. Braden tonight with a couple base hits and a couple RBIs. Oh yeah, and he scored a run. I forgot that. So he's had a big night offensively. Braden Fox with a chance to do a lot of damage. He's got the bases loaded, and ball 1. Good catch back there by Alger, the catcher. And again, I'm just scanning the field real quick, and the only defensive change I believe I saw was at pitcher and shortstop spot. Other than that, I think everybody stayed in the same spots where they started. That's on the fist, and that is a good pitch right there. That's going to be fouled off for strike 1. So McKeegan has David Whitney, Trevor Lear, and Lennon Philo in the outfield. It's like trying to read the roster without my glasses on. Oh, just getting old. That's going to be the shortstop, and everybody's going to be safe. Now, once they made the commitment to make the tag, they'd lost the opportunity to get the runner out at first. So Fox will reach on the fielder's choice. Top of the order, Sean Blanchard up now. Blanchard, an interesting choice to have at the top of the order. Very good contact hitter, but it's got power. He's a good doubles man like that. Oh, just whipped it through there out into the left field, and we'll follow Joe Parker around, and he will score, as that was a bullet by Blanchard on a pitch that hung up. I'm trying to find Fox stopped at second. 2 runs will come in on that base hit. A couple more RBIs for Blanchard. And Nick Ogil up, and he's the 9th batter to come up. So remember, there is the 10 batter rule. And that will be a ball. So Ogil, unless he hits into a double play, Protovansky will be the last at bat this inning. He'll be the 10th batter. He's on deck, obviously. That's going to be down the patch. Good hop. He's going to take the out at third, and they'll get him. Nice job. Good throw. Nice, easy throw to handle by Patch over to third base, where it was Keene that applied the tag. So Protovansky up. As I've had to extend my book over every inning, which means I might not make it through the inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs this inning for Proctor. Has made it an 18-run lead for the Rangers. It's McKeegan's first inning of work. And he's looking for that third out. Well, it won't matter now because it's the 10th batter. And I understand, and I agree with having a 10-batter rule. I mean, I've coached at this age level, and it's very necessary to have a 10-batter rule at this age level. And I don't believe in it, but I never understood why, like in a situation that Brandon's in down by 18, I don't know. So I guess it's always why you just wouldn't walk him, and that'd be the end of the inning. Why would give him a chance to? But some leagues you can't. I don't mean like intentionally walk. That's a strike called. And they got 2 runners at base. They got 2 runners. They're going to be out at first. They got to tag him though. Yeah, I don't know if they realize that. They're going to bring the ball in the circle, and they had 2 people, Proctor did, at second base together. 2 teammates at second base together. But they didn't get the out. Brandon didn't, so they'll move up to second and third. That wasn't a play where they could just throw the first, and that's the out. Remember, they had a base open out there. Oh, and that's going to be Talier. Great grab. I couldn't make the camera go back any further, but we got to see him make the grab on a deep fly ball. That will retire the side, and we'll go to the 4th with Proctor leading Brandon on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. It's Curtis Tomlinson going to go from first base to the pitcher's mound. And actually, I taped the game last year when Curtis made his pitching debut. So the big lefty out there, and he's going to be looking at the 2, 3, 4 spot in the order. Nate McKeegan up. And that's going to be picked up by Slade at third, the throw to first, and the out. So there's a defensive change already besides the pitching position, is that Jesse Slade has gone in to play third base. Farley has gone over to play first base. So that's a couple switches there, and you can see that click right there for the 5-3 ground out. Now Logan Algier up. He reached on a fielder's choice. This is the 2nd time through the order for Brandon. You see Tomlinson very mechanically sound where he comes to set. Then he has the leg kick, the momentum coming forward, and then the extension. Drives with the legs. And Blanchard, who pitched last inning, has gone into center field. I think that's where Sean started the ball game, actually. So Slade's at third. I'm just scanning real quick. Protovansky stays at short. Fox at second. Farley at first. I'm assuming that's Miles still behind home plate, and it'll be a nasty-looking pitch and a strikeout. But I tell you, that lefty coming into the right-handed batter right there, that looked like a 2-seamer. I'm not sure, but it had that sinker ball action. Now David Whitney up. He flied out to center field on a ball that was hit pretty well, actually. That will be high. And I see Chris Gelbert has gone into right field. Zach Gelbert is in left. And I think that sets the complete defense. Yeah, it does. So in the 4th inning, Brandon looking for a little 2-out magic now. They got 2 out, nobody on. And I can tell you, no lead's insurmountable. Everybody can catch up. Biggest thing for Brandon is just getting that first run. Oh, nasty looking pitch from the lefty. Of course, Tomlinson was part of that Glossic championship team this past basketball season. I believe we were number 22 in basketball, and that'll be high, and obviously a ball. So a nice relaxing pace to the ball game tonight. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed all the baseball action brought to you by Channel 15, by Munger Vision specifically. I got Legion Ball starting their season off this week, so you'll see some Post 31 baseball action, more Ranger baseball action, and then of course the Proctor All-Star weekend is the July 10th and 11th. That is going to be on the infield, and the catcher, actually, Miles, will make the grab, and that will be the inning. And Tomlinson with a nice job in his first inning of work from the pitcher's mound. Kyle Miles. Oh, what a stop at second to throw to first, and they got him. Play of the game for Brandon right there. It's Connor Mackey looking like a major league player right there as he's able to range over, close the hole up at second, and make the good throw to first. That's the second nice play. Remember, he caught the pop fly on the infield, too, did a nice job. So Miles retired, and now I can tell you there's a new pitcher out there, Greg Whitney, number 16. Well, I tell you, Farley up, and he has been pounding the ball tonight. Reed Farley, he reached on an error in the first inning, but that was a zinger of a hit he had that was mishandled out in the outfield. Now he's had the back-to-back doubles, so he's been on base all 3 times, and he has scored 3 runs tonight for Proctor, and he's swinging the bat. Got quick hands tonight, he does. That'll be fouled off, strike 2. So last inning's pitcher, Nate McKeegan, he's gone over to play first base defensively, and they've taken Greg Whitney, and they moved him out into the pitcher's mound. The game was started by Jarrett Patch. He's since moved to shortstop. So Brandon moving people around, getting them all kinds of experience at different positions. That's a little bit outside right there for a ball. As you can see right now with the catcher's back to us, that's Logan Alger out there doing the catching. On a cool night, mid-June. Hope this is an indication of our summer. That's lifted and driven deep and caught out there. Second put out of the evening for the left fielder, number 10, David Whitney. And he played that very well. Now this should be Zach Gelbert up for the second time. He went into bat for Logan Landon last. Actually went in defensively for him, and he batted in his spot. That is Gelbert. So Zach Gelbert up. His first look, though, at the new pitcher, Greg Whitney. Just a tad bit high, the umpire says, behind home base. So Brandon looking for their first 1, 2, 3 inning. And that's how you get back into a ball game. You got to stop the other team from scoring. They get a stop here. Work on getting a couple runs, and nice break on that ball, and a swing and a miss by Gelbert. Curtis Tomlinson on deck if Proctor does extend it to another batter here. And another good pitch. And again, there's some movement on that ball as you watch it from the backside here. Wasting no time between pitches. That time you'll be a little bit wide. They're playing deep at third. On the corner with Keene over there. As he's about 3 steps behind the third base bag. And Nat will miss to the inside of Gelbert, on his backside actually. And I'm just trying to figure where they're going to put, it should be the number 8 spot. We should see Chris Gelbert come up for the first time. Now he should be batting in Parker's spot. And he'll strike him out. A 1, 2, 3 inning defensively for Brandon. And they had some good plays that inning. It's Tomlinson staying on the mound here for the second inning in a row. And I gotta flip my book over real quick as Greg Whitney up for Brandon. That was a good defensive inning for Brandon. See if that momentum now will carry over and help him get some offense going. You know, Tomlinson last inning was pretty dominant on the mound. 3 up, 3 down he went. Connor Mackey on deck, and then Jarrett Patch 2 up. That's going to be down to second base. They got time, and Gelbert will misfire, and that ball will roll to the fence. And I think Gelbert actually slipped on the wetness. They're going to have him out. Miles will make the tag at second base for the out. So they're able to recover from that error for the out. Now Mackey up. He's been up once. He grounded out to first base. At the time, that was Tomlinson at first. It was unassisted. It was just a put out by Tomlinson at first. As the umpires just getting together and discussing that last play, the ball was never out of play, was the ruling by the home base umpire. That's why they were able to continue the play forward and make the tag out at second. And I'm not sure who's at home base tonight. I know that's Boucher out in the field doing the bases. Probably better I don't know who's at home base. Home plate. I want Carter to correct me again. It's home plate. Tomlinson tickling it outside corner for a strike. So yeah, playoffs start next week in this league, and I'll have playoff action for you. And boy, that's fighting off an inside pitch. Nice job of stepping back by Mackey and stinging that ball down the first baseline, but fall. Now Mackey tonight has made 2 good plays in the field defensively at second base. Now he's just looking to ignite the Brandon offense here. As they're in the 5th, scheduled for 6. And the way the mercy rule was explained to me, now be a strike 3 it'll be. So Tomlinson will record his 2nd strikeout since coming in to pitch. And Jarrett Patch up now. He's 0 for 1 tonight. The way the mercy rule is explained is the team trailing has to have 5 full at bats. So in this case it'd be 4.5 innings. They have to trail by at least 15 runs, but it's also up to the coaches. They can, if they want, they can just go ahead and finish out the game and play and let their players get the experience they need. I'm all for that, seriously. I mean, the coaches, I was told tonight, all said, let's just keep playing because the season's so short. And that's going to be out of the reach. Yeah, it'll hit off the top of the chain link fence, a backstop, and will be just a foul ball strike. Yeah, and again, if you're just tuning in, first of all, shame on you. Where have you been? Second of all, the big news tonight is I have a new platform, a 10 by 12 to stand on out here in center field. Gilmore Home Center donated all the lumber, and John Miles donated all the labor. That's going to be past Tomlinson. Now he'll stab it, knock it down, make the throw to first. And again, nice, calm composure by Tomlinson. And they'll get the out at first. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th with Proctor up 18-0 over Brandon. Tomlinson's going to face a new pitcher here for Proctor. It's going to be Logan Elgier, number 12 out there. And I like what Brandon's doing. They're letting people get some experience at the pitching position. And you can practice all you want, but there's nothing like live game action. Pitching to an opposing team and having a batter up there. And the intensity level, of course, should be higher during a real game. With youngsters like this, 6th graders, sometimes it's not. Actually, where I work, sometimes with grown men, the intensity's not there either. So we had some defensive changes. Jarrett Patch has gone into play center field. Now, he was the starting pitcher, then moved to shortstop, and he's in center field now. So you can see how versatile he is as they move him around. They took Trevor Lear, the center fielder, moved him into shortstop. Lennon Philo has gone to third base defensively. And again, I'll try to catch up to all the changes out there. Brandon's, they made some good plays defensively. I'm thinking of David Whitney in left field's made some nice catches tracking the ball on some shots out to left field. And I've already mentioned the second baseman, Connor McKay. I haven't got my glasses on. Mackey. Oh, this being 50 is not cool, let me tell you. Thank God it was the first thing to go was the eyes, that's all I got to say. And that will be outside, and that'll be ball 4, and now we'll put Tomlinson down at first base in the 5th. And that is the 4th walk that Tomlinson has drawn tonight. So again, you talk about a guy knowing the strike zone. This should be Chris Jalbert, I think it should be 11. That should be Chris Jalbert. Yes, Sachs number 10. So Chris Jalbert getting his first chance to swing the bat tonight. Held up on that high pitch as Logan Elgier. New arm on the mound for Brandon. Tomlinson over at first, got good speed. See what they opt to do here. Haven't seen it so much tonight, but in other games, Proctor's been a team that has been able to, they know how to small ball, and they've been able to small ball. They haven't really needed to tonight, or haven't tried to tonight. That'll be to the backstop, and Tomlinson will stay at first base. Was it a walk? I'm sorry, that was ball 4, now it'll become a walk. Well, Tomlinson, whether he wanted to or not, he's going down to second base now. And Braden Fox is up. Fox has had a big night tonight for the Proctor squad. He's made good contact, got a couple RBIs, and with his speed, all he wants to do is get that bat on the ball, and he just puts pressure on the defense to make the play, make it quickly on him. He can get it down the line real quick. Plus, he's starting from the left side, which eliminates 2-3 steps toward first base. He'll swing and miss, and to the backstop it'll go. It'll be retrieved by the catcher. And, I did not see his jersey number, so I'm not sure who they put in the catcher spot right now. They've been switching people all around on the Brandon squad, like you should. They've been getting people experience at different positions, chances to play. Yeah, with nobody out, 2 on, Logan Alger pitching the bottom of the 5th here for Brandon. As that wind been strong all night, now it's picking up a little bit more. And that will miss inside. Fox jumping rope there to get out of the way. Now, I never can guarantee until we actually go out and videotape the events and hand them in. But on my schedule, I've got Cal Joslin's Saturday night fights from the Keith Gym scheduled, so hopefully I'll be able to follow through on that. And you'll get to see the local fighters from Cal Joslin's stable in action. Now I'm tape delayed, so by the time this aired, it would have been too late to get you to go down and get tickets and watch Cal's fighters, but you'll be able to watch them on PEGTV.com or on Channel 15, unless they don't allow me in the gym. Oh, big rip at the ball and a foul ball. Top of the order, Sean Blanchard up. Then Nick Ojala should be on deck. And actually, no, it's going to be Jesse Slade. I see Jesse over there on deck swinging the bat, so he'll have his first at bat tonight. Unless they hit into a triple play, and boy, that's a good-looking pitch right there from Alger. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Bases juiced, nobody down, looking for the first out here of the 5th inning, bottom of the 5th. Long look in by Alger. Into the backstop, and the runners are going to hold up and hold their ground at the bases on that wild pitch. The outfield, they're cheating a little bit toward the 3rd baseline, like he's going to be able to pull the ball. And they're relatively deep, actually, so they're respecting the power of Blanchard. And Alger trying not work it into a walk situation. Getting that long look in and the pitch. Oh, that's going to be a tough play. Oh, look at the scoop at second base, and nice job defensively again over there by Mackey, as he will make the play at second base for the first out. So Connor Mackey having a big game defensively. First out, and the runners couldn't move up and score, so Ojala's spot will be taken over by Jesse Slade. And that'll be short hopped into the home base for a ball. Oh, Slade with tremendous power at the plate. Big, strong guy. See him waiting for the pitch, and Alger will miss high. Kevin Tomlinson at 3rd, Jalbert at 2nd, and at first base, Fox. That's the lineup for Proctor. As they're up by a lot right now. They're up by 18 runs in the 5th. But Brandon squad will have another chance to come up to the plate. Oh, believe me, no lead is safe. That's not a hype to try to sell the game. I'm sponsor-free, no paycheck guy. Just do it for the community. And now, 3-1 count. And Alger, nowhere to put him. We'll look in, and big pitch on the way. And that's going to stay on the infield, I believe, as Lear will drop the ball. It should be an infield fly. Or actually, no. There's the out. The run will score. No, it couldn't have been because there were 3 runners on base. So that will allow a run to come in. Tomlinson will score. Because I was early on my call. That was the incorrect call on my part. Going to 3rd will be, that's where the out took place. That is the 2nd out. And I'm looking for Nick Ojala. He ended up at first base. Okay. On the fielder's choice. Fox at 2nd, and Protovansky up with 2 down. And the pitch called a strike as Alger hit the corner on that outside part of the plate. Trying to push the lead down to 19 zip as Proctor Rangers with that. Those first couple innings, they had just big innings, 6 runs, 7 runs, and that'll miss inside. Slade going back to first base. Actually, that's why I couldn't find Nick Hodgel, because it was Jesse Slade. And I knew that, but this is getting old stuff. And that will be high. Fox is second with just blinding speed on it. You got to figure a single's going to give him a good chance to score. As Protovansky's had a couple deep balls tonight that he's hit. One to center field was caught for the out, and it was deep. Lee were able to chase it down, but then he had that double back in the second inning that hit the base of the fence. You couldn't see it because my camera work was awful, but as I'm getting used to my new spot here to videotape from, and that was different. Protovansky swinging at a pitch behind him. If he'd made contact, he would have drove it into the backstop. Yes. Oh, that's okay. I love doing these age group games because you see stuff like that. Oh, and he swung at that. Almost, yeah, he goes back to the dugout. That should be out number 3, as we're going to go to the 6th. And Brandon going to need a big inning. Realistically, what they want to do is come back and have a good, solid inning. You want to score a run or two and have something positive to work on going to the next practice. All right, so we won't have the 6th inning for you, as that will be the game officially right there, as it'll be a 19-0 win for Proctor. Just solid. Like I said, Proctor had some big innings early on. The first 3 innings, they had a 6-run, 7-run, and 5-run first 3 innings. That really kind of set the tone. They made the plays defensively and saw a lot of good pitchers on target tonight for Proctor. For Brandon, again, they had some great moments. I'm thinking their second baseman, their left fielder. The pitchers had moments. Again, this is a developmental instructional league, and they're getting it down. They'll go back to practice and have a whole new outlook at their next ball game. So congratulations to Proctor. A good effort by Brandon. Get out there, support community events like this in your area. And I always watch Munger Vision.